Good evening. We come together tonight in community, in consciousness, in celebration of the Lenten season, a time when we remember who and whose we are, spiritual beings, each one a child of God, made in the image and the likeness of the divine. We have everything we need to change our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs. And when we do, we change our life experience. We discover new paths, new ways to journey forward in our life, to make it better for ourselves and all those who surround us. Aware that God is right here, right now, let us make a conscious decision to step into the next 40 days with excitement and exuberance and expectancy, knowing that we have the ability to leave the past behind and to step into something new, something different, something better. But most importantly, we have the ability to raise our spiritual consciousness a little bit more and a little bit more each and every day. Grateful for these teachings, I say thank you. Thank you, God, for leading the way. Thank you for this dedicated time to focus on feasting and fasting, release and renewal. Confident this is our truth, I release my words to the infinite law of mind. I release, I let go, and I simply let God. And so it is.
All to Christ I do surrender. All to Christ I freely give. I will always follow closely. Christ alone will be my guide. I surrender all. I surrender all. All to Christ I will surrender. I surrender all.
Good evening and welcome to the Lenten service 2021. It's release and renewal, or the theme, God surprise us. And just a quick little recap of what Lent is. Lent comes from the Anglo-Saxon word meaning to lengthen, which is a verb, so it's an action word. Note that the days are longer, hence why Lent is done normally in the spring. This is an annual season for fasting, prayer, and atonement. It is truly our declaration of self to release and let go what no longer serves. This is a 46-day process, not including Sundays, which ends a particular period, and the last week or the last 2 weeks ends up into the Passion and Easter Sunday. It is a part of our period of what we call the spiritual growth and unfoldment. It is truly our opportunity to reconnect with our God mind, our true self of oneness, and to connect with the attributes of God: life, love, wisdom, power, substance, which allows us to truly take inventory of who we are and reclaim our divinity as heirs of our source and supply. We truly are the ones that create and manifest our destiny. It starts from within. So this period of Lent is supposed to allow us to lengthen ourselves, to really stretch and go beyond who and what we are, and really own ourselves in love and in wholeness. For a scriptural reference, you could look at it where it says in Matthew chapter 18, verse 20, for where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, I am there among them. So Spirit is here right now. God is guiding and providing us at every moment of the day. We just have to be consciously in common union or communion with it. You could also look at Matthew chapter 6, verse 18, where it says, so that your fasting may be seen by others, not by others, but by your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees you in secret will reward you. This Lenten series or the Lenten period is not where you're trying to boast and show everybody, look what I'm doing, but rather an inward, internal expansion, an internal investigation of, am I meeting the qualifications that was already set before me as my guide and my providence? And if not, then do so in secret. Do the work from inside, because nobody can see your insides unless you show them. And that would be kind of hard. But when we do it in secret, know that everything is moving and guiding for us. The Christ I am within us is aspiring and desiring for us to be better and bigger, bolder than where we have before. When we talk about fasting, it means to abstain or refrain from partaking of things that are not of our nature. So when we look at it as metaphysicians, meaning that we see beyond the physical realm with our eyes, so spiritually, it is to refrain from negative thinking. But some use this whole opportunity to go beyond the negative thinking. We use it to expand and remove maybe certain foods or beverages or more while in the mindset of the wholeness with God. As it says in John chapter 15, verse 6, you did not choose me, but I chose you. And I appointed you to go and bear fruit, fruit that will last, so that the Father will give you whatever you ask in my name. Make this the opportunity to use Lent in a way that expands, appreciates, and moves you to be the best you that you desire to be. And why not now? The appointed time is here. We have knocked on the door. Did you answer? It is an internal moment, an internal opportunity. Things that we looked at, we want to consciously change includes love, faith, and forgiveness. Now, again, when we look at Lent, we always look at forgiveness. And the word forgive means to give for. What are we giving up this season? What are we seeking to give up so that we can replace with the new? Perhaps it's old thoughts or feelings or even negative views. What do we wish to replace with these? Love, strength, positivity, a new mindset. Our divine self is forever seeking to become alive and authentic in our own life, affairs, and world. But do we truly allow that to happen? During the spiritual growth, let us be mindful and accelerate our prayer work, meditate, and truly contemplate our oneness with all people, all life, and the universe as a whole. Let us fill our minds with the attributes of God and know that all is true of ourselves, because this is our Lenten season. Namaste.
Once is never enough. The process of consciousness expansion requires a willingness to persist, much like the importunate widow in one of the parables of Jesus. Saying an affirmation once will not change your consciousness or the situation you are working through. The affirmation itself won't do it. It is the power behind your words and your state of mind. When you speak the words together with your willingness to change your consciousness, that's what matters. To begin bringing about a change, you must cleanse your consciousness of negative thoughts, feelings, or attitudes before affirming the truth. Not cleansing first is like trying to put new wine into old wineskins. Expansion is impossible. Cleansing the mind prepares the way for the affirmation of truth to lay a strong foundation. Keep in mind the situation did not happen overnight. Its removal may take some time and extra effort on your part. Be importunate with your efforts. Today's daily inspiration comes from Romans 12:2. Be transformed by the renewing of your minds.
And as we join together now, it is that time when we allow ourselves to really create an intention for this time together. And we're going to do that by lighting a candle, where we're setting a physical intention for the mental release that we're about to go through. So as we begin, I want to just light this candle beside me as a representation of my commitment to follow this Lenten period and create harmony in my life, world, and affairs by releasing all that would block and stop me, releasing the negative thinking, habits, behaviors, whatever needs to be let go of. This is my conscious and what is the word I'm looking for? my symbol of that commitment. And I invite you, if you have a candle at home, to make that commitment for yourself and light that candle now as a representation of your willingness to release and let go. And so let us just know together that in this act, we have made a statement of release. And now I'm going to have Renee read from the Lenten booklet.
And if you have the Lenten booklet, I will be reading from pages 8 and 9. Please follow along. Release and Renew, Lent 2021. I release any belief in limitation. I renew my sense of possibility. I release a habit of judging others. I renew my commitment to see the divine in all beings. I release all doubt and indecision. I renew my divine power of wisdom. I release negative thinking. I renew my positive expectations. I release discontent. I renew my gratitude in all things. I release apathy. I renew my zeal and enthusiasm. I release the fear of lack. I renew my awareness of abundance in my life. I release any sense of worry. I renew my faith in divine order. I release thoughts of competition. I renew my willingness to cooperate. I release any need to complain. I renew my outlook through appreciation. I release old feelings of bitterness. I renew inner peace by forgiving. I release feeling stuck. I renew my will to take the next step forward. I release any feelings of hostility. I renew my practice of non-resistance. I release thoughts of illness. I renew my openness to the healing power of spirit. I release anger. I renew my patience. I release any sense of discouragement. I renew my hope with the power of affirmative prayer. I release my darkest fears. I renew the strength and the courage of my heart. I release feelings of loneliness. I renew my connection with spirit, self, and others. I release problems that seem to overwhelm me. I renew my understanding of my spiritual nature. I release the shadows of sorrow. I renew myself in the serenity of silence. As I take this moment, I let it be known that everything is moving freely and compassionately with me. So I invite you to just release anything that you have in your hands, get comfortable in your chair, and allow the words of this meditation to just be the moment where we let go. We're releasing it all and reclaiming our divine self. For there's only one power truly guiding and providing us in this moment. I call it God, and I just say thank you for allowing me to be here right now, open and receptive, and to truly make this commitment to myself to let go of all that is no longer serving me. As I said before, I release thoughts of limitation and hostility and resentment and lack. For it is not of my true nature, which is the Christ nature that is in me. I now claim that which is of my divine I am, that I am whole, perfect, and complete, that I am love expressing as the brightest light in the world, that I am wise and I move forward with complete faith, knowing all is well, that I use my power and my gifts and talents to be the best me that I can be. And I do that to serve and show up in this world bolder and beautiful, loving and free, kind and generous. So as I release and I just call through, I just ask Spirit that you just heal and reveal yourself in me right now, that essence. And if there's an area that needs to be cleansed, let it be cleansed now. For I am one in my divine oneness, my true self. In the mansion, there are many rooms, and I am one with the Father. Starting from the top of my head, cleanse and release. My brain cavity and my face, eyes, ears, nose, mouth. Into my neck and throat, heal and reveal. Into my shoulders, down my arms, elbows, wrists, fingers and palms. Into my upper chest and my upper back. Just breathe in, release, let go. Into my chest cavity, the middle of my back. The tension is released. Love flows. My elimination, reproductive organs, lower back and glutes, everything just moving in complete harmony. Every cell, every DNA strand, muscle fiber, bone, joint tissue, organ, my whole essence. Heal and reveal. Down my legs, my knees, my ankles, my feet. Heel, sole, toes. Let's take a breath in. Breathing deep from the diaphragm and release. Take another breath in. And as you let go, just know that I am one with my divine self. I am one with my divine self. I am one with my divine self. Heal and reveal, Spirit. Let me be one in one. Heal and reveal. Be still for a moment. I will be right back. Knowing that all is in this now moment, I claim all is. I no longer hold on to things of the past and thoughts that are no longer serving. I no longer claim anything that is not of my true nature, which is absolute good. That I am harmony and love. That I'm vibrating at a place that is just exuberant and elating. That the energy and the power and the flow in me is healthy and vital. And more importantly, I am one with all life. I need you to survive. I need for you to help me to thrive and be the best me that I can be. So I need you to show up as the radiant light that you are, as the gift of love that you are. For as I stand, bold, free, limitless, I truly know that as I release and let go, it is truly well with my soul. I take a breath in, claiming the new, the good, the vital. Just feel the flow and exhale slowly. Take another deep breath in. Roll your shoulders. Feel the movement and the activity now moving through you. And as you begin to wake up, just know that I say yes to this now moment. I say yes to claiming that I am the light that the world needs now more than ever. I am love exponentially unfolding. I am here and I am ready to be in this now moment. And as I release and let go, I know that all is truly well from within to the without. I say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. All is well. And so it is. And we will now have a musical selection. I now let go. I apologize, folks. We had a small technical issue. So we will play the song after the lesson by Reverend Barbara.
January 31st, congregational song number 1, Life is for Living. Life is for living, whatever you will live for, you will give. Life is for giving, whatever you will give to life will live. Life is for doing, for living, giving, doing, learning how. Life is for you and life is for me. Life is for living now. Life is for loving. Whatever you will love is yours. Life is for sharing. Whatever you will share with others grows. Life is for being, for loving, sharing, being, learning how. Life is for you and life is for me. Life is for living now. Life is for living now.
Well, I am not sure what happened there, but somehow I was I was sharing the video and it wasn't sharing. So anyway, we got a second song. So this wonderful season of Lent, and I wanted to begin by talking about the importance of letting go of the past and changing the focus and direction of what it is that we're searching for. When we think about this time, it's a very specific time where we get to let go of all the things that no longer serve us. And we all have a little something, something that we wish we didn't have. So this is about setting a clear intention and then following through with it every single day. Every day, waking up and going, what is mine to do today? And what is mine to forgive? Because forgiveness is really about giving love to the self, right? It's not about somebody else. It's always about our own self. And so as we let go of the past, as we deny the power of outer events, as we release all of the ideas of lack and scarcity, fear, worry, all of these things, as we let all of that go, we create room and space for that which we truly desire. We have to be clear in our thinking, and we have to be clear in the journey as to where it is we want to go and what it is that we plan to do. I wanted to share with you a little bit about the philosophy of denial from the book, Keep a True Lent. And Charles Fillmore writes in the book, the one cause, the unmanifest mind from which springs all manifestation is principle, whose inherencies are potentially perfect. Like the principle of mathematics or of music, it enters not into error or discord. That is, principle is supreme good, absolute substance, mind, love, life, intelligence. Its ideas are like it, perfect. The Christ man or true man is the perfect ideal. So what we're looking at here is denying the power of anything opposite to that. So if I have an illness, I deny the power of dis-ease to upset or infringe on my life. I deny the power of outer events to create in me certain feelings or emotions. So we want to deny the things that would cause us difficulty or harm and open our mind up to something bigger, brighter, and better. If we're going to live the Christ life, right? And I think that's why we're here. The reason that we want to live this Christ life is because we know that this is a way of living a very powerful existence. It's about honoring that which is within us. It's about recognizing the divine nature of each and every one of us, and then allowing that nature to be the guiding light and force as we move forward. So when we look at our lives, sometimes we're, kind of caught up in whatever's going on around us out in the world or whatever. And we're allowing ourselves to slip into worry and fear, doubt. We're starting to regret certain things. Maybe we're even doubting our spiritual practice. Maybe we're doubting the power of God. Maybe we think God did something to us, right? These things come up sometimes. People who've been devout for a long time sometimes will go, I'm not seeing any results today. What we want to remind ourselves of right now is that if we're not seeing the results that we desire, it's not God holding back. It's us withholding our true nature. Okay? Our true nature is that Christ nature, that divine. So what is it that we're doing day by day and moment by moment? And for the next 40 days, we're going to use this idea of kind of thy will be done, and it will be introduced by Renee. But this idea of trusting and having faith, that my hope is that at the end of these 40 days, well, 46 plus Sundays, that at the end of this Lenten period, when we get to Easter Sunday, there is a shift in consciousness that has occurred so deep within us that we don't even remember what it was that we were struggling with. That somehow there is a new vibrancy in our lives that is lifting us to a place of knowing that through the Christ consciousness within, all things are possible. That there is no such thing as impossible. There's no such thing as can't. There's no such thing as trying. There is, in fact, this willingness or this ability to have absolute faith that God is right here, being me, being you, that I'm created perfect, whole, and complete. You are created perfect, whole, and complete. And coming to an understanding that if that were true, if I believed that to be true, would I live my life differently? If I believed every single person was exhibiting or could exhibit the Christ consciousness, would that allow me to look at the world from a different vantage point? This journey that we're on is really about awakening that truth within us, that capital T truth, the unchanging presence of the divine. When we can open up to that and allow it to express, we begin to create harmony in all the areas of our lives. We start to recognize that disease is not even a possibility. How could it be? It's one of those things that we look at and we go, well, that can't be. That can't be. That's dis-ease. I was reading earlier today unpublished letters written by Myrtle Fillmore. What a joy. What a joy. This woman had conviction. So I'm asking you right now for the next 46, 49, 50 days, whatever it is, to have conviction about whose you really are and what that means to you. She wrote in a letter to a woman that was having some difficulties in her life. And what Myrtle Fillmore wrote to her was, see this one part here, with the belief in lack and prosperity would be hindered, right? With the belief in lack, prosperity would be hindered. So just feel that you can use what you have in any way that you will bring the most good. We're giving thanks to the Father that he has the right place and work, and that his light is now directing him to it. That which seems to have lost is still in the storehouse, and just as soon as you allow it, it will come to you. He will find he can lay hold of the ideas and their manifest correspondence. Nothing that is ours under divine law can be taken from us. Nothing that is ours under divine law can be taken from us. We're created in the image likeness of God. Therefore, all that I am is that the power and presence of God within me, not separate from, not something in the sky looking down, passing judgment, but rather the energy of love vibrating in and through me. She said, if some negative thought shuts off the free flow of supply for a time, we do not need to worry or give up, but should begin to look for the cause and to establish ourselves in a better consciousness of life and love and substance. Again, it's about remembering whose we are and living from that divine knowing and having the conviction to stay the course, to listen to the body, to look at our world of affairs and what's happening around us, and take responsibility that each and everything in my life is there by my action or inaction, whatever the case may be, that I am creating my life based on my history, based on my upbringing, based on the country that I live in. There's a bunch of elements, but none of those are capital T truth. All of those things can change, right? I could move to another country. I could move to another city. I could, choose to have new friends, hang out with different people. There's a lot of things I could change. What I can't change is the divine. God is the constant, the unchanging, infinite creative potential of the universe. It is all powerful. It is all knowing. And it's right here where I am, and it's right there where you are. And as we come into this time, what we're doing is we're saying, I'm ready. I'm ready to create a course in my life that will awaken me to my true divine nature and allow me to live from the Christ consciousness now and always, that I might remember in each moment that should a bump in the road come, I don't focus on the bump. I realize that it's moving me to a greater, deeper understanding of my true self and of my true desires, my true value for life and living. So what is it that you're doing? What is your intention for your life? What is it that you hope to accomplish throughout the years? What is it that you would like to see down the road for your life, for your church, for your world? What is the shift that you are ready to embody, embrace? And whenever we want to make a change, there's another thing we have to look at. First is the change, but the second is the result. Are we ready for what the change will do in our lives? If you give up one thing, right? The universe pours a vacuum. It will immediately whoosh, something in. What's coming in? And this is where denial and affirmation come in. We deny the power of limitation, lack, disease. We deny that. And we affirm instead God's love, our oneness with the Creator, our infinite potential. We begin to remember, I am the divine made manifest here and now in this particular form. I live from that consciousness of oneness. I live from that consciousness of knowing, that consciousness of love and acceptance of peace and joy. And I release all else. I let go of all of the things the excuses that I have or the limitations that I think are here. I let all that go. When I had my spiritual awakening quite a few years ago now, I was only 27 at the time, so we're going back a long way. The interesting thing was that everything changed in a moment. In a moment. There wasn't a process of change. It was a moment. It was a moment of 1 minute being in complete darkness, living in the world of effect only. And then all of a sudden having this epiphany experience that illuminated the illusion of what my life looked like and allowed me to begin to see the presence of God. Not as something outside of me, but as the energy and vibration of love, the harmonizing energy of the universe. And it was through that experience that I found my way into new thought into the teachings of Unity and CSL and UFBL. It was finding that way, but it took that moment of illumination to begin searching. Because prior to that, I just thought, the world's a mess and life's terrible, and then you die. But once the change occurred, there was no looking back. There's no way to unknow something. And what I know is that God is love, that this energy, this life force within us is positive, productive, powerful, personal. It's indescribable, really. There's no way to fully describe the infinite. But what I know is that having this experience of God has allowed me to pursue just life in a new way, and to every day begin by asking certain questions and praying in my day, right? Beginning with prayer and meditation, and in my meditation, allowing myself to go, okay, what is mine? What is mine today? What is mine to do today? What do I need to forgive? What do I need to release? What do I need to awaken? And am I willing to surrender my life fully to God in this moment? And that can feel like a big demand, right? It's a big demand to sit back and say, you know what, as of today, I am going to give my life 100%. I'm going to surrender all, not some, all. And that phrase, when you think about it, I'm going to surrender all. That's not leaving certain aspects out. I'm not going to leave my money out, or I'm not going to leave my children out, or I'm not going to leave my spouse out. I surrender all. That means in each and every moment, I deny any outer influence, and I awaken once again to the divine within. I see God as the source, the supply, the beingness, the allness of my life. The interesting thing is, as we do that, there's amazing changes that take place, and the results are phenomenal as we let go of our desire to control, manipulate, try to make it our way. God's way is always better. Not sometimes better, always better, right? I don't know how many times I've done a prayer of surrender, and the result has been a little bit mind-boggling. It's like, how did that happen? But it does. It happens all the time. In the little booklet for today, the writer is talking about being in junior high school, and says, so the statement is, I release any belief in limitation. When I was in junior high school, my typing teacher would often lose patience with the endless chitter-chatter of teenage girls in class. Occasionally, she would command our attention in silence by proclaiming loudly, enough is enough and too much stinks. Those words hold true for beliefs that do not serve our highest good. We may find ourselves entertaining limiting thoughts about ourselves and others. Thoughts about not being or having enough may bombard our psyche. I once heard a minister refer to such negative beliefs as stinking thinking. In principle, we create our experiences by our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. When we entertain thoughts of lack, we attract more of the same and block our channels to new and better experiences. During this season of Lent, I set my intention to release any belief in limitation. When such thoughts enter my mind, I quietly affirm that I am happy, whole, wise, and healthy, and I have plenty to meet my needs. By consciously letting go of stinking thinking, I give myself permission to see myself and the world around me in divine perfection. After all, thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. The scripture is Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. Finally, beloved, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, and if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. We are called during this 40 days to focus our attention on that which is good, honorable, life-giving, that which is commendable, that which is honoring the Christ consciousness within each one of us and in those around us. So we're being called to step it up, to take our attention to detail to a whole new level, and to begin in this moment to truly love and respect and honor ourselves as the divine creation of God, and all others as the divine creation of God. We're being called to live to a whole new level. And as I look around my world today, I think there's a loud call out there for all of us to step it up, to take the teachings of unity and UFBL and CSL and take them out of the walls of our churches and take them out into the streets. Well, when we can go back out in the streets, that is. In the meantime, we'll do it over the Zoom room. The nice thing about the Zoom room is it's not limited in its capacity. We can invite everyone we know. We can share this good message with everyone we know. So I invite you to do that now, to get your head clear, your mind clear, releasing all belief in lack and limitation, and recognize the power and presence of God right here, right now. And on that note, I have a song to share with you. The one that I was supposed to share earlier. Should I share that now? Okay, now I just have to find it. Okay, that's going to be a little harder, I think. Okay, so cancel that. Maybe we should just go on to the piece that Renee's doing, and I will find the right music to play after that. All right, Renee, you're up.
All right, thank you, Reb. Oh my goodness. I do want to apologize for the extra stuff that was going on. This is what happens when you're in Zoom. You can't control all. However, we know that right where we are, all is well. So, as you know, I would love to think that this new period, and as we know, 40 is a period of completion. Of course, it says 46 days, including Sundays. But in this now moment, our theme for Lent is God, surprise us. We know that the true spirit of the I am is always seeking for us to be bold and expand and, to paraphrase a TV show, to go boldly where we've never gone before. So in this opportunity, let us know that we are going to embark on this 46-day period, seeking to unfold, to develop, to empower, and to seek our divine self in a way that is beyond what we could truly imagine. And each week, we're going to look at the different attributes of God in a microscopic way to ourselves. So, for example, life. We know that this is the idea in divine mind as activity. Well, what does that really mean for us? We say that it is expressed in us as health, wholeness, and energy. But right now, when we say God surprise us, let's take it up another level. When we look at health, how do we want that to show up in us right now? Perhaps we want to seek to stretch more, yoga or of some type of exercise, maybe more mindful eating, or maybe just more meditation time. How can we work health into this week more than we have already? How can we increase our energy levels higher and to make it last longer? Or why do we hold this idea of wholeness as something separate or apart from our daily livelihood? These are just questions that I pose, but it's just to get our mind into this new idea of why am I looking at God as life in me, or God as love in me, God as power, God as wisdom and God as substance. Each week, we're going to focus on a different aspect of our true nature, which is the attributes of God. So there are 5: life, love, wisdom, power, substance. And the idea is that we are going to unravel together into our divine light and be brighter, bolder, and more loving. As I said before, we are connected in this invisible web of life that is our vibration that either raises us or it lowers. Let us use this period to make this journey one of reflection, observation, and then true celebration. But the question is, are you ready to make this moment for you, for your life, for your world? Are you ready to, as Reverend Barbara said, to boldly be the radiant love that we are? We say that we are, but are we ready to really show up as that? This week, starting today and continuing, we're going to be, or until the first Sunday of March, we're really going to be focusing on health. How does health look for us? Sit with that, ponder it. Maybe it's more meditation time, like I said before. Maybe it's to fast, more water intake, whatever it is. Look at that and then really be actionary, be practical. We are practical thinkers. Be praction. Use this time to really delve into it. And then the next one will be love, then wisdom, power, substance. And then the last week, which is our week going into Passover, into Easter and the Good Friday and all that unfolds, we'll be prepared to truly celebrate the new boldness that we are. And I hope you're ready to join me, because this is one journey that I know we all are desiring. We are truly international because, as Rev said, we don't have to look at Verity or Agape in, a physical sense of being in a church. We're on Zoom. We're everywhere. We have it on YouTube. We're stretching out our limitations. We are boldly going everywhere because it's needed now more than ever for our light to shine. So I hope you did light the candle and you're ready to impart and be something special. I am ready to say, God, surprise us. In every meditation, that will be my phrase, because I don't know what I don't know. And I'm excited for it. I hope you are too. God bless.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself, and I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. And I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you got to let it go. Let it go. And this is what I'm saying. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. I am free to see the light. I am free
Oh, what a wonderful ending to tonight's service. And with those amazing words and that song in our mind, let us join together in consciousness to bring our service to a close. And as we do, let us remember that renewal and new life and new beginning is all part of our spiritual journey. That in every moment of every day, we are at choice and we can choose to let go of our negative thoughts and our fear-based beliefs. And instead, we can stand tall and bold in the Spirit of God. For that is who and what we are. And when we choose to see only God, only good in every situation, life gets better and better. And so, knowing this to be the truth of who we are, I invite you in this moment to join me in the unity prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And so it is. Thank you.
And now we're going to play one more song to close us out, and that's the one that I missed earlier. So let me see if I can find it here quickly. Here we go. Oops. Share screen.
I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I now let go. I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I now let go. There's nothing to fear.